I noticed a group of older men sitting at the table having the Sunday morning, 9:30, and they were having coffee or a little glass of wine. And as a photographer, I was intrigued and I was sort of curious. What was bringing them to this cafe that was mostly younger crowd or foreigners. And so I walk up to them and I introduce myself as a photographer and ask them if I could photograph them or talk to them. And they sort of look at the chat and say, sure. And so it turned out that they were men who were political prisoners from 50s, and they were a group that would gather every Sunday. And so I have met them and we talked, and I asked if I can photograph, and I set up my tripod and camera, and I did interview about their lives, and I interviewed like 6-7 people. And after that, I came back next summer and decided to meet more of them, and I also decided to find women and see if women had different experiences or not. And so since 1995, I began this project where I would interview former political prisoners, people who were arrested in 1948 and spent many years, 10 or more years in what were Czech labor camps, equivalent to what Solzhenitsyn writes about in gulags. And I first started with life histories and these portraits, and then as I was progressing towards my dissertation, I started to ask questions, not so much about their individual lives, but more about their life as a community. I discovered that they have this sort of community that has political aspirations, that have social aspirations, and so I started to hang out with them more and just became part of their not with all, but some of them I met individually, some of them through community, and some I stayed friend with and visit, like this man, for example. We were very close friends. And so really until 2004, I want to say, I was going every summer regularly, meeting, if not interviewing individuals or their spouses or children, I would participate in their annual gatherings and celebrations. They would often return to these places of camps, and I would join them and photographed and wrote journals and records, and that all became my data for my doctoral dissertation.